Years ago, when I was doing Andy Kaufman, I learned how to meditate, and it's been very valuable. It's been around for a while, but I mean, I think on a widespread level, it's being picked up by everybody now. It's being understood as something more than some kind of religious, nutty thing. It's a system of teaching yourself how to get into a state of relaxation that affects your entire life and the quality of your life. And I do it. I've done it for a while, and I recommend it highly.
My life is so crazy. It really is. It's extreme. I live in this 1 percentile, like, extreme, you know, I'm zigzagging all over the world. I'm on a plane more than I am on ground. And this tool helps me find moments of peace because I don't have a whole lot of time that extend my day so I can live, like, my fullest capacity. Like, it gives me 2 days in 1 day. It just gives me this power, you know? And I do it before I write a song sometimes, definitely before I get on stage. And it's just such an incredible, useful, simple tool that has made such an impact on me, and that's why I'm sitting here with you today.
But I meditate. I was introduced to meditation about 15 years ago, and I meditate twice a day. And if I ever feel close to knowing what God is, it's somewhere in the boundary of that half-hour period, twice a day when I meditate. I think the basic idea of the meditation I do is to quieten the mind, to just let all that instrument calm down. And I sometimes have experiences where I feel a little out of body, a little time. Ideas of Hugh Jackman as a father, as an actor, all those roles we play just seem to melt away. And somewhere in there is where I have some glimmer, some glimpse at what God is. And it's a feeling. And it's blissful. And it can go like that, and every minute you try and grab onto it, it's gone. We're householders, right? You're a householder, I'm a householder. We're not people who are born to sit up on the top of a mountain and meditate. Some are, and they're incredibly powerful what they do. But you and I, basically, we have a job and we earn money to look after a family or whatever. We give to society in whichever way we can and contribute. It's what in Indian or Vedic terms they call the way of the householder. But twice a day, even as a householder, twice a day for half an hour, I can dip into what I call that gold, that the substance of what is God, and just bathe in it. It's a different experience every time, but I get glimpses of something that energizes me on such a deep level that I'm not sure exactly what I'd do without that form of prayer. It's a way to be in touch with who I really am.
How has practice of TM over the years helped you?
For me, what meditation does at the most root level is bring me back to zero and remind me of sort of my most natural state and what my value is in the world in a really core way. I think it's so easy to get caught up in the challenges, physical and material and ambition, and you know, there's all the stuff that is sort of set up in the world to distract us from our sort of most basic self and our most basic instincts, and there's so much fear and anxiety that it kind of accompanies modern life. And for me, meditation is the thing that reminds me of sort of who I am and what we all are, and it sounds so mystical, but it's actually so basic.
It's happened, I think, as a result of transcendental meditation. Certainly it's run concurrently with it, is a sense that I have now an ability I've cultivated an ability to step back from the phenomena of my life, from the mechanics of my feelings, and go, right, do I really want to lose my temper in this situation? Or do I really want to act on that desire? Or do I really want to act on that fear? And sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't have the freedom. I still do. But increasingly, I've noticed that the hypnotic power of the material world has decreased. Some of that may be because I've been doing the same thing for a long time. When I wanted to be famous, I wasn't famous yet. So for me, it could have been a solution. It could have been an epiphany. It could have been enlightenment, a revolution, a transition. But certainly since practicing regular meditation, the way I see myself, the way I see the world and what I want for myself has changed. It's interesting, isn't it, that the vast majority of our anatomical functions occur without cognizance, without instruction. We are sitting on this, when people go, what's going on behind the scenes? Are there Illuminati? What's happening? Perhaps because our whole body is run without our permission. Our kidneys, our gastric system, our cells are healing and reproducing without any knowledge of it. So there are obviously different forms of consciousness. There are different forms of being, even within myself or anyone as an individual. Meditation, I think, has given me a new aspect, a new facet through which to access that. So I always have to be mindful of pointing out that it's not like, oh yeah, I used to be like a crazy drug addict and a womanizer, and now I'm just basically sat around with a blanket wrapped around me looking at a cool, calm lake and thinking George Harrison lyrics. I'm not. I'm still I have it in me. I've got desire in me. I've got fear in me. I've got lust. I'm full of human flesh-based stuff. But what's happened is a neglected aspect of me has been awoken and cultivated through this meditative practice.
And so I learned, and it was exactly what I needed. And the thing that blew me away the most about it was that it was the easiest thing that I'd ever done. Not the easiest meditation, but the easiest thing I have ever learned. I learn a lot of things. That's my job. I go out there and I learn it. I'll spend months learning something. And this took me an hour the first time. And it's also what you get out of it. The fact that it's so simple to learn. It's so simple to practice. And yet you get the amount of restoration that comes to you, the benefit across your life. It has changed everything. I just had my family and my boyfriend's family meet together for the first time over Thanksgiving, everybody in my apartment for 5 days. And let me tell you something. It can benefit relationships. And I got them all to learn. So it was the most dynamic holiday I think everybody had in the best way, because everyone all of a sudden had this new tool that they never had before with dealing with this sort of moment that could possibly be a little stressful. And instead we all sat and meditated with one another the entire, every morning for 4 days. And it was beautiful. It really bonded everyone, and it was really a special time. So also the thing that I love about TM is that it's not something, you don't have to convince somebody to believe in something. You don't have to get them to understand a different faith or spirituality. TM is helping you tap into something that's already inside of you. That's you in essence. And that's something that I think that was super empowering for me once I really grasped that, is that it's not just something that you do, you go outside of yourself to obtain and then bring back into you. It's actually the deepest part of you. It's the part of you, it's this part of you that exists that you've never had the tool of opening and accessing. And so to have that tool now and to be able to go inside to the deepest part of myself and to access that and to recharge my battery internally within myself, I feel so badass. I really do. I think it's so awesome. I feel so empowered that I actually possess that. And then to show the people that you love, and with what you're doing at the foundation, to show so many people who need to know that they have that ability, to me is just, it's so gratifying to let people in on it and allow them to really heal themselves, to regenerate themselves, to restore themselves.